Hotel family, welcome back to the Chosen Few channel. I'm your host, Matthew Daniels, writer, scribe, author, and bookworm. I'm not a bookworm world, I'm the real bookworm. Make sure you get it right. And as always, may your name live on forever and may your memory never die. Y'all see the title, we talking about bloodshed on the Underground Railroad. We are not our ancestors. Bloodshed on the Underground Railroad. We are not our ancestors. Negroes sliding on the ops. A lot of people nowadays are saying we are not our ancestors, and they're saying we are not our ancestors as if they are rougher, tougher, stronger, and have more intestinal fortitude than the ancestors. Oh, we will not be subjected to what our ancestors were subjected to because we are not our ancestors. And that's slightly disrespectful because a lot of our ancestors was about that business, family. Bloodshed on the Underground Railroad. They wasn't just running and fleeing. Yeah, they was running and fleeing, and I don't blame them, but they had them things on them. They had them things on them. They had them things on them on the Underground Railroad, and they used them, family. Today we're going to be looking in the book, The Underground Railroad Records by William Steele. He compiled a lot of these records, family, and we're going to be talking about an ancestor named Wesley Harris, aka Robert Jackson. May your name live on forever and may your memory never die. Now, Wesley, he wasn't a slave that worked on the plantation of his owner. He was a slave that was rented out to somebody else for the year. And so while he was rented out to somebody else for the year, he came across a real wicked and ornery overseer. And one day Wesley just wasn't having it. So the overseer come to try to flog him over something minuscule, something so minute. And Wesley, being the G that he was, Wesley being the man that he was, Wesley like, you know what, I'm just not even having it today. He resisted the flogging and he flogged the overseer. But while Miss Carroll was very kind to her servants, her manager was equally as cruel. About a month before Wesley left, the overseer, for some trifling cause, attempted to flog him, but was resisted and himself flogged. Never think that your ancestors was enslaved because they were weak. Never think your ancestors were enslaved because they were cowards. Never think your ancestors were enslaved because there were no men. They were men, they weren't cowards, they were brave, and they had heart. They got a lot of heart than people alive right now today. So sometimes when you say that we are not our ancestors, yeah, you may not be ancestors because you might just subject yourself to the flogging. How many times you done got pulled over by these crooked ass cops, right? It's part of my language. How many times you done got pulled over by a crooked cop? They attempt to flog you, beat you, take you to jail for nothing, harass you for nothing, and you know that they can kill you. You know that they can lock you up for a long time. You know that the punishment is severe, so you take it. You take it, you march, you protest, you rally, you file complaints. You do all of that stuff right now today. You do all of that stuff right now today, but one day Wesley Harris, he had enough, and when they tried to flog him, he instead flogged the overseer. And the punishment for him would have been a whole lot more worse for him than it would be for you. So we are not our ancestors. Yeah, you probably would subject yourself to the flogging because a lot of us subject ourselves to the flogging every day. And I'm not trying to judge anybody. You get surrounded by cops. They got guns, they got tasers, they got billy clubs, they got hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of more officers that can come. They got cars, weapons, all this good stuff. And you are just a man. So when they attempt to flog you, you get flogged, and then you call Ben Crump and you want to try to sue him. But Wesley beat him. Bloodshed on the Underground Railroad. We are not our ancestors. Yeah, I know we not. So after he beat him, they come up with the thing. Okay, if you ever try to flog him again, this they tell the overseer, if you ever try to flog Wesley again and he just not having it, since you're too weak, white supremacist overseer, since you're too weak, frail, and petite to whoop him man to man, we'll just use these white supremacist laws and slavery codes to give your weak behind the upper hand. And if you try to flog him again and he resists, we're going to lock him up in prison and we're going to sell him to one of the hardest plantations around. Wesley get word. He like, oh, no, like I told y'all, Wesley, he had enough. He like, no, I'm just going to shake the spot. I'm just gonna shake the spot. So he get with a brother named C. Madison. May your name live on forever and may your memory never die. C. Madison say, hey, he planning on escaping, right? Wesley tell him, hey, well, you know what? They gonna sell me off in December anyway, so I might as well escape with you. So they lock on. They say we gonna escape together. See, Matheson say, hey, well, I got two little brothers, man. Let me go holler at my two brothers. They need to get up out of here with me. Wesley Harris, a.k.a. Robert Jackson, is like, all right, cool. So he go holler at his two brothers. So now it's four of them. Four of them playing in the lead. They leave on a Saturday, family. It says, what did they leave? So one Saturday night at 12 o'clock, we set out for the north. After traveling upwards of 2 days and over 60 miles, we found ourselves unexpectedly in Terrytown, MD. There we were informed by a friendly colored man of the danger we were in and of the bad character of the place towards colored people, especially those who were escaping to freedom, and he advised us to hide as quickly as we could. So they set out 4 deep. They set out to go get freedom. Now, they don't all the way know how to get on the Underground Railroad. Like a lot of times people had an idea of the Underground Railroad. They knew that they were supposed to just be trying to head north. And so when they just got fed up, they just shook the spot and they just worked it until they ran into somebody that could help them. So they ran about 60 miles. They make it to another town. They see a brother that's, hey, he not trying to escape, but he trying to give him the game. He like, hey, man, you know what I mean? Like this place here. The white supremacists here don't play, bro. The white supremacists here don't play, man. Y'all better hide real quick. You don't want to be caught out and about around here. It's serious. One love to that brother for giving them the game, so they go hide. They go hide in one location. A man come up, don't see him, but a man come up, he cutting wood. They see he too close. They like, we got to shake the spot. We got to get in another location. So they go hide in another part of the wood. In that part of the woods, there was a man with a dog out there. The dog, I guess the dog catch they scent. The dog come to where they at, start barking, alert the owner. The owner come. Owner finds them. When the owner finds them, obviously, white guy, black people hiding in the woods, 4 of them, never seen him before in this town. He questioned them. He questioned them if they runaways. They try to lie, right? The dude pretends to be a Quaker. A Quaker is an abolitionist. A Quaker is an abolitionist. He pretends to be an abolitionist. He pretends to be a Quaker. And he tells them if they're trying to escape, he can help them. So they think about it. They don't really trust them, but they eventually go with him. They go with him. The man take them to a barn. Now get this, family. When they get to the barn, the man and his daughter fix them something to eat. Check this out. Soon after putting us in his barn, himself and daughter prepared us a nice breakfast, which cheered our spirits as we were hungry. For this kindness, we paid him $1. Now, mind you, I gotta give y'all a spoiler alert. This guy is no good. This guy means them no good, family. But when he brought them to the barn, him and his daughter made them something to eat. Beware the free lunch. Beware of people that come around you pretending to be your friend, pretending to be your ally, pretending to have something to give you, to help you, when all along they setting you up to get stabbed in the back. They just want you to get your defenses down. They just want you to let your defenses down, family. You can't let everybody around you. You can't let everybody know your moves. You can't let everybody in your business. If you working on something, you work on it. If you working on something, you work on it, and trust only those closest to you until you have succeeded. They shouldn't have trusted nobody until they made it all the way to the north, but they had to do something, family. So while they were in the barn, got fed by the person that was finna betray him, the Judas Iscariot, right? They were in the barn, they went up in like the loft. So I told you it was 4 of them. All of them went to sleep except for Wesley Harris. Wesley says that he felt like something wasn't right. And he should have. Why is this random white guy helping us? Yeah, he could have been a Quaker. He could have been an abolitionist. But the black guy already told you don't trust these white supremacists in this area. Sometimes you don't want to listen to your brother. You don't want to listen to your brother. So while everybody else was up in there asleep, right? Old boy and his daughter, they go get the authorities. So the authorities come back. They hear him outside talking. Wesley wake up his compadres. Wake up, wake up, wake up. The guy sold us out. Somebody here. Boom. The barn door open up. 8 white men. All of them armed. Come in. The guy that gave him up, he's pretending like he didn't give him up. They got a ruse going on, family. They got a ruse going on. So the 8 white men with the guns, they're saying, hey, are you harboring Negroes in your barn? He says, no. White guy goes right up to the loft where they're at, and he's, hey, there's 4 Negroes up here. Did you know that there were 4 Negroes up here? The guy, oh, no, I didn't know anything about no Negroes. You can't trust nobody like that, family. So when they see them, they start questioning them too. They tell them, hey, man, we going to Gettysburg just to visit some of our relatives. But you know that don't fly. So they're like, well, you got to see the magistrate anyway. So what I need you to do, they pulled out some rope and they was like, hey, we finna tie you up, take you to see the magistrate. And if everything check out, it check out. But remember what I told you, family. Bloodshed on the Underground Railroad. We are not our ancestors. Negroes sliding on the ops. You know what's coming, family. Look what the ancestor Wesley tell him. Look what the ancestor Wesley tell him. He say, they then said that we would have to go before a magistrate, and if he allowed us to go on, well and good. The men all being armed and furnished with ropes, we were ordered to be tied. I told them, now ancestor Wesley, I told them if they took me, they would have to take me dead or crippled. How many of y'all got heart like that? I see people running around there. We are not our ancestors. Well, your ancestors looked into the eyes of 8 armed men in the hells of slavery when it was on and popping, when Negroes didn't have no right but to obey or die. And then these 8 white men who are supposed to be the superior race, they come in strapped. It's 8 of them strapped. It's 4 of them strapped. And they got the law on the side. And they tell him, hey, we finna have to tie you up and take you to the magistrate. Wesley, he already on his journey to freedom. He already on his journey to freedom, right? So what Wesley tell him is, hey, bro, the only way you gonna tie me up is dead or crippled. And then look what happened next, family. Look what happened next. At that instant, when he said that, one of my friends cried out. One of the friends of Wesley cried out, where is the man that betrayed us? Spying him at the same moment, he shot him, badly wounding him. Then the conflict fairly began. So as soon as Wesley put it on the record, like, hey, bro, the only way you tie me up is dead or crippled. One of his partners was like, and matter of fact, where's the guy that sold us out? Because either we going back into slavery or we dying. So where's the guy that sold us out? Hiding in the corner. He pull out that thing, family. Boom! He showed him. Bloodshed on the Underground Railroad. We are not our ancestors. We are not our ancestors. I know you not, because your ancestors, when they got put in that situation, one of them told them some of the most gangster stuff I ever heard in my life. And then the other one, they not even waiting no more. They're not even waiting no more. You know what? If I'm going to die, I'm going to take that betraying bastard with me, pull out that thing. Boom! Gun battle ensue. They pull out their weapons. Now, only 2 of the people escaping the freedom fought. Wesley and C. Matheson, the 2 brothers that he brought along with him, did nothing. You will always have people that would do nothing. But the other ones, they start busting. Boom, 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 boom. Wesley get hit. Matheson get hit in the face. Some of the white supremacists, they dropping. They hollering. They do. I want y'all to hear some of this, family, because the gun battle popped off. He say, the constable seized me by the collar, Wesley, or rather behind my shoulder. I at once shot him with my pistol, but in consequence of him throwing up his arm, which hit mine as I fired, the effect of the load of my pistol was much turned aside. His face, however, was badly burned, besides his shoulder being wounded. I again fired on the pursuers, but do not know whether I hit anybody or not. Boom, 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 boom. He let loose, family. He let loose. Look what he say to OG, bro. Look what he say. I then drew a sword I had brought with me and was about cutting my way to the door when I was shot by one of the men, receiving the entire contents of one load of a double-barrel gun in my left arm, that being the arm with which I was defending myself. So after he ran out of shells, blah, 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 he bust on him. He pulled out a sword. Now, some of y'all done seen that picture of Nat Turner, the great Nat Turner, with his sword. But Wesley Harris, may your name live on forever and may your memory never die. He had a sword too. He said he started cutting his way to the door. We are not our ancestors, fam. I know you not your ancestors because they put in that pain. He cutting his way to the door. He swinging that sword. Then one of the white supremacists, they catch him. Boom, 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 boom. They shoot him up. A lot of it hit his left arm, and they said it took off a whole lot of the flesh all the way down to the bone. See, Matheson, the other brother that was busting, that was firing them shots, boom, he got hit in the face. They pistol whipped both of them. Boom, boom, boom. After they beat him, they pistol whip him. They tie him up. The two brothers didn't shoot, didn't get shot, didn't get beat. They just surrendered. So what happened was they began to take them all to jail, right? And this ain't the end of the story. We are not our ancestors. I know you not. I know you not. So they go to take them to jail, right? They go to take them to jail, but they have to Wesley Harris, they have to lodge him up somewhere else because he's losing so much blood. They think he's going to die. And they want him to suffer for what he did. They don't want him to bleed out. They want him to suffer. They probably want to tar, feather him, skin him alive, hang him, cut his penis off. You know how they got down, family. They probably want to brutalize that man. So they want to keep him alive. So they hold him up somewhere and they start tending to him. He was there for weeks. They trying to nurse him back to health so they could punish him. Honestly, they just want to nurse him back to health so they could punish him. But it just so happened two of the people, ignorant white supremacists, want the Negro to do everything for him. They didn't want to nurse him back to health, so they had the Negro slaves nurse him back to health. But a couple of them turns out to be friends, so they gave him some nails, gave him some rope so he could try to break out. So one night when he healed up just enough, he put the nails in the window, tied the rope up, and he slid down the rope out of the jail cell. He was not going back, family. He slid out the window on the rope, run off into the woods, hide for a night. Somebody else come with a horse to carry him away, spirit him away to freedom. You know, he says that C. Matheson and the two brothers that didn't do nothing, they went back to jail. I mean, they went back into slavery. They were sold for $1,200 a piece, and he made it to freedom, family. Look, check this out. They say his safe arrival in Canada with his thanks were duly announced, and sometime after becoming naturalized, in one of his letters, he wrote that he was a brakesman on the Great Western Railroad. And so he basically got a job. He basically got a job working on the railroad, family. He basically got a job working on the railroad. So that's bloodshed on the Underground Railroads. We are not our ancestors. I know you not. You need to stop saying that we are not our ancestors because it implies that our ancestors were weak. They weren't weak. You just don't know the stories. There's plenty of stories I can tell you about that, about people beating up the overseer, beating up the owner, killing the owner, killing the overseer. Man, at one point on the Underground Railroad, it wasn't nothing. It wasn't nothing to find dead white bodies in the woods. Especially when the Underground Railroad was on and popping. You got to read the literature. It was nothing to find a dead body in the woods. A white man ran up on some escaping Negroes and they put that slug in them. A couple of them dead bodies may have been Harriet Tubman. She could have just left them slumped. Or another conductor just like that, but bloodshed on the Underground Railroad. We are not our ancestors. Negroes sliding on they ops. Never think your ancestors was weak, family. You may just not know the whole story. Again, all books by the Scribe Matthew Daniels available at dandyandbigherm.com. The link is in the description. I want y'all to go hit that link, man. Go read the synopsis to those books. Check them out. I got 2 urban fiction novels, 1 investigative reportive novel about corruption in Tech City, Texas, and 1, My Beautiful and Loving Wife. It's the greatest love story ever written for my beautiful and loving wife. Self-explanatory. Thanks for watching the Chosen Few channel. Like, share, subscribe. This your brother Matthew Daniels, a.k.a. I'm Pooh, a.k.a. the Chosen Few, a.k.a. the Real Bookworm. I'm not a bookworm world. I'm the real bookworm. Make sure you get it right. And as always, may your name live on forever. May your memory never die. Hotel.